Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here. And if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks, everybody, for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings. We've got a great episode for you coming up today. How are you doing today, Jim?
Superb. Thank you for asking. And yourself?
I'm superb as well.
As usual.
What a great word.
Life is good. Yes, indeed. And how about that Carrie Walgren, huh?
Yeah, that was a good episode last week. That was a lot of fun.
Did you guys have a good time? We had a hell of a good time.
Yeah, and then it was nice, too, because we got to catch up with her at the NostalgiaCon in Denver.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And many more to come, but more on that later. Yes.
Yeah.
Today, who do we have today?
Today we have Kensington Tallman, and if you don't know, she plays the lead character in Inside Out 2, the highest grossing animated film of all time. I can't believe it surpassed, The Lion King.
I know, I can't either.
Frozen.
And thanks for bringing it up, because I wasn't in it, but it still did well. Go figure. Anyway, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that'll be coming up right next for you guys. But first, we have a couple announcements to make, starting off with Jim's convention appearances.
Yes, I just so happen to have a list right here. Thank you. Coming up, Riverwalk Anime Convention in San Antonio, Texas. You know it, you love it. It's a really cool place. You ought to come. It's May 17th and 18th, and maybe a little of the 19th. I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me. That's up to you. Be there. We'll see you then. And don't forget NostalgiaCon in Boise, which are commonly known as Boise, Idaho. Now that's May 24th and 25th. NostalgiaCon. I'm getting nostalgic just thinking about it. Oh, and here's another one, a NostalgiaCon. It's in Anaheim. Talk about nostalgic. And that's in June 6th and 8th. June 6th and 8th. I'll be there. Producer Chris will be there. But wait, there's more. Anime Verse. Where else but Kansas City? June 28th and 29th. Anime Verse. Probably, like Universe, I would think. So I doubt it's chapter and verse. But anyway, you know what to do. We'll see you there. Have I left anybody out?
No. With all that said, we hope you guys, and we know you guys will enjoy this conversation. It was actually a really, really insightful conversation,
really
especially from somebody so young. It was actually really cool. So we hope you enjoy it, and we will see you in the next one. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings. Mr. Cummings, the legend himself. How are you doing today, sir?
It's another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. I'm producer Chris, and today we have a very special guest for you, Kensington Tallman.
Hi!
You'll know her as the voice of Riley on Inside Out 2, along with a whole bunch of other credits.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So glad you are here. Glad you are here.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much.
This is so exciting because I'm a huge fan of you, and I feel like you are like iconic and a legend in the voiceover community. So it's an honor to be here.
It's El Gusto es Mino, which is probably not French. So thank you. Well, it's an honor to have you. It really, really is. And, we, as usual, we do our research and try to find out a little about everybody's background. And oh my gosh, I mean, you're a wunderkinder. You're one of those high-powered overachievers, straight A student. And yet I still like you anyway, because I never got along with those kids when I was in school, but we're out of school now. So I think we're going to do just fine.
I love that.
Oh, man.
And you graduated already.
Yes. So I'm 16 and I finished high school in my sophomore year at 15.
Wow.
How'd you pull that off?
Oh, man. Lots of studying. I have an amazing support team. My mom and my dad are incredible. I've also been homeschooled since 6th grade, which I feel like that was just so nice because it was, with acting and everything, it's easier, I feel like, to be homeschooled just for scheduling, and it was more flexible.
And you were never late.
Yes, I never had missing assignments or any of that because I was, on set. So a lot of the times, I would be on set during the day and then at night, just go home and do my schoolwork or, bank hours for schoolwork and then, work the rest of the week. So I feel like that was a big part. And also I feel like I really do love learning. I feel like there's parts of school that are really challenging and are struggle for sure. But I would say overall, I do really enjoy learning. So I'm doing some community college courses right now. I was doing my math homework on the way here.
Oh my gosh. Were you doing it in Italian? Because I see that I'm just, could be a 2 plus a 2. That's my Italian, by the way.
I love it. I
Equals
love
a 4.
Sì.
Italian.
Perfetto.
That's Italian.
No,
Real Italian.
I love Italian. I studied Italian all throughout high school. So I studied it for like 3 years, but I filmed a show in Rome.
Oh.
And so it came so perfect. It was like it came in so handy. I was able to like speak with like my limited Italian and try to learn more. And I was there for 4 months. So it was like a very immersive experience.
And what was the name of this show?
Yes,
Could it be Home Sweet Rome?
Yes, you know it. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's on Max right now, which is so fun. All our episodes have dropped. It's from the creator of Hannah Montana. So it's kind of got that vibe. It's really cute. It's like think of like a kid's Emily in Paris. That's kind of the inspo,
I'm
you know?
really curious of the logistics, like of
Yes.
you as a person. Like how does your family, I'm looking over here at her mom off camera if it looks weird to you guys. But like, so, okay, you booked this role, this shooting, and do you know ahead of time it's going to be like a 4-month thing? And how do you adjust as a family to that? Like, do they say, see you later, Kensington, have fun in Rome?
Here's your lunchbox.
It's like, bye. It was so interesting. When I got the audition, I was so excited because, and this was, I would say I was 13 at the time, I think, when I got the audition. So I don't know, was that 2022, right? Does that sound about right?
You tell us.
That's crazy. I can't do that math. I don't know. But I was like, it films in Rome. And it has been my dream since I've like been in 4th grade to go to Italy. And I was like, oh man, this would be so perfect, but I'm not going to like get my hopes up or anything. Yeah. But it was so great. My mom went with me to Italy and we had the best time. We stayed in Piazza, like Centro Storico. So like that's near Piazza Navona. So we were right in the center of Rome. And on the weekends, I would go to the Torre Argentina. I would see the Roman cats. I made friends with the Roman cats. I would feed them every weekend because I was
with the cats. That's a thing.
The cats.
That's a thing.
The Roman cats. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. And then we found this vegan cat cafe that we went to also every weekend, and that was amazing. I
vegan cat cafe,
yes.
and it's where cats go to eat what, vegan mice? That's kind of, I don't even want to think about it.
I love it. It was so cute. It was like this adorable little cafe. It was like a little bit outside the center of Rome, so you would have to like take a taxi to get there. And then there's like these 6 cats that just lived at this cafe, and it was great. You go there, you make a reservation, you eat great vegan food, and you hang out with the cats.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a good time.
Good times.
Is this where they made Ratatouille? I'm just trying to, I'm getting a lot of crossover vibes here.
I love Ratatouille. That's one of my favorite Pixar movies. It's so cute.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dishes. but that too.
Yes, that too.
Okay, well, that works. Oh my gosh. Well, it's too bad you can't find anything to keep you busy these days. I mean, my goodness, you're just everywhere. That's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I feel like I'm the type of person that like, I really like to keep busy because I feel like when I have my hands in different things, it's just very creative, like very creatively stimulating for me. So like when I do have some sort of like, kind of downtime or something, I always try to find something, okay, what's creative for me in this moment to do. And that kind of emulates in different ways each season,
Wow. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Good for you. Good for you. What do you have anything that we're working on now? You're allowed, because inevitably somebody will come on the podcast. I'm doing the greatest thing. It's so cool. It's gonna be. Oh my God! I can't wait. It's. You can't even. Well, tell us about it. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No. I can't say a word. Oh well, thanks. Okay, we're all dying. Got anything you're allowed?
Yes.
To talk about?
So I'm doing some animation stuff. I've got a DreamWorks project going on right now.
I've heard of them.
Oh, I'm exploring some, live action stuff. But actually, the most recent thing I've been doing, I'm doing a podcast with my friend Ashlyn Arnold. We started a teen mental health podcast ourselves.
Oh, wow.
And so it's called Let's Talk About It. It's going to be released very, very soon. And it's been so fun because we've been doing it all ourselves. We are recording ourselves. We're editing ourselves. The other week we did a photo shoot ourselves. And I think it's been such an incredible like learning experience for both of us. But really the inspiration behind it was, we both have been through a lot of mental health challenges just growing up as young teens in today's world. And I feel like it's really hard to go through that alone. And I feel like oftentimes when you're going through things like that, like when you're going through anxiety or depression, you can feel like you're the only one, feeling that. But the reality is, like, there's so many other people feeling the same way.
Few other people out there, yeah.
Absolutely. So we just wanted to create like a safe and authentic space to like talk about it for other teens to hear and say, hey, this is what we're going through. This is the challenges that we've experienced. This is how we, manage that. And this is the ups and the downs of it. And we hope that, you can feel a little less alone in this journey.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's great for someone like yourself to do that.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, every teenager, every girl, I've had 4 girls. So I understand. Yeah, and they're easy as pie. Anyway, but there's all those different conflicting moods that hit you, especially when you're a teenager coming of age, and there's apparently boys figure into it somewhere along the line. That's what I'm told, and then you have to get good grades on top of it all.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then social media is just like, I feel like a whole other thing, like TikTok and Instagram. It adds another layer, I feel like, of pressure and kind of something, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the best thing and the worst thing all at the same time. It's great to be able to express yourself and to like connect with your friends and to have this kind of like authentic platform. But at the same time, it can just suck you in, and you can go into comparison, which is so tricky for so many people.
That's something to avoid.
Yes, absolutely. It's hard.
I think it's got to be especially hard for your generation because, like, even my generation, I'm a millennial, and like social media has changed so much from what it once was, and we're still all trying to understand it as like every generation at the same time. Yeah. So we don't have any answers to be like, this is how it was, and because everything's changed and we're all experiencing it for the first time as well. Like my grandma, is like DMing me on Instagram, just multiple memes a day. Grandma, please stop. It's too much. Like maybe one a week.
I love that. My Nana
does that. Oh, that's great.
But you know what I'm saying? It must be tough for you guys to like tackle all that stuff because we have a hard time tackling it as adults. And like what you mentioned, like comparison, and like comparison is the thief of joy, and when you see, like, you see everybody on there and like everybody's putting on a show too. We all want to put ourselves in the best light, even if it's just like for your friends and your family, you want to have like a little gender reveal party and everything's so performative,
Yes.
And it's like, it's not really real life, but it's presented like it is real life. And I can only imagine, I used to coach high school football kids.
Oh.
And it was cool. I really enjoyed talking to kids because it's so like, we were just talking about this on the way over here, and it's like, it's so easy for us to forget what it was like to be a kid. Like, you guys have your own culture, like, and somewhere down the road that just like, we forget about it. And like, we were listening to you on another podcast and you said something and you were like, you enjoyed moving from New York out here. One of the things you liked was driving around. And that struck me because I was just like, I forgot what it was like to drive a car for the first time, like to have that freedom of like, I'm on the open road, like by myself. Like it's so easy to forget that,
That's true.
So it's like interesting to hear like a different perspective.
And it's so funny too, because I feel like I love what you said, because like this is the first time we're experiencing this all together, right? Like my generation, like we're growing up with this, and every single day there's new advances in technology. So it's never going to stay the same. It's just going to be kind of like evolving every single day, kind of all of us trying to figure it out.
Oh God, yeah. Well, when I was growing up, that texting was called writing a letter or a postcard. What's a postcard?
I love that.
Let's say you went to Niagara Falls or Disneyland. They have little cards, and you could put someone's address on it. And so, that was texting. That was, it's...
Honestly, I prefer that because I'm
Me too.
the worst at like responding to people. It's so bad because I don't know. There's something about like text messages because I'm always like doing... I have like ADD, so I'm always like doing a million things all at the same time. And so like when I see a text come in, I'm like, okay, let me put this off. Like, and I'm the worst at responding to people. That I feel like would be really good for me because I could see the letter on my desk and be like, okay, I need to write this person back.
There you go.
And physically do it. I feel like we should get back to that, honestly. I feel like we should.
I agree. I'm with you. So let's go out. I'll see you at the stationery store.
Yes.
Okay, well, that was easy.
I just wanted to touch a little more on that subject that we were just talking about, because I feel like you're getting a double whammy of like, you know, being in the film industry. I grew up around the film industry. My dad was an actor. And one thing I always noticed, you know, I worked plenty of crew jobs and everything, but on set, children really get treated as adults. Yeah. Like they're your peers. You know, it's like even, you know, the higher up on the call sheet, the more you get treated like an adult. Yeah. And I think that's like hard to, that's why you see a lot of stories of, you know, these child stars, you know, like going down whatever avenues they went down. It must be hard to maintain that like level of like, I want to say reality, because everybody's treating you like you're just a coworker. And that's almost like, I want to hear your experience like dealing with that. Cause that must be, you know, like hard to kind of wrap your mind around, like your mind's still developing and like, you know, people are talking to me this way. Maybe my friends are. So I want to hear like some insight into that experience on set when you're working.
I really love that you bring that up. I think it's such a unique experience, you know, being like a child actor and being on set at such a young age. And I kind of liken it to sports in a way, right? Like kids who play football and who are, you know, growing up and getting scholarships to amazing, you know, colleges, and like that is their passion. They work so hard. They put their dedication and their focus into it. But I think what really makes a difference is like having a good support system. And I feel so grateful that like I have my mom and my dad and an incredible family who's just been, you know, so supportive of me. And my mom, you know, takes me and drives me everywhere and makes sure that like my schedule is all great and like I can have time for myself to self-care. But I would say as far as being on set, it really is interesting because it's like you're a kid, but you're also an adult. Like you're a kid in an adult field. And I will say the people that I've worked with have been so unbelievably incredible. Every single director, producer, like team truly has been so lovely and treated me just so lovely. And I feel like especially working on Inside Out too, like Kelsey Mann, our director, and our producer, Mark Nielsen, two of the most incredible humans. Like it was so interesting because they treated me like a peer, but it was like a collaboration of like, I want to hear your experiences, your take on this character. What can we infuse from your real life into this character? And it really was a creative process. And I feel like that is what acting and art is. It's creative expression. And so I feel like if we can embrace that a little bit more, you know, rather than like treating people as kids or treating the kids just as adults, I feel like it's treating them as a young person who is a creative, I feel like is really the way to go about it. And I feel like the way that really everyone on set, on all the sets I've worked with, have just treated me that way. And I feel so lucky.
Well, that's why you're there. That's why you got the job, because you're you. And you bring that. You bring that. That's nice. I you know, it sounds like there's a part of me that hears that they count on you, that they know that you're there because you're you and you've got it. So that's nice. I hope that feels good to you.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel really, really, really blessed and really grateful. I think, you know, I think something that's really important is to just trust yourself, you know, and I think that's something that I've been, you know, working with for a long time. I'm a perfectionist and I've been that way since I've been little. And I feel like being able to grow up in the entertainment industry has actually been able to help me like let go of that in a way and just kind of be like, okay, this is my art. I'm just going to trust myself and trust what comes out of it. And also like not taking things personally. Like, you know, that's so hard. That's like good. when you don't get a job or when they're like, we're going a different direction. A lot of the times it's just like, you're just not the right fit. Like there's a certain essence and it's like you either are that or you're not. And it's not because you're not talented or not because you're not working hard enough. Right. It's just isn't the right fit, but the right fit will come and it will be there. So it's just like remembering, you know, those things and instilling that. And it's so hard too. Yeah. So hard to do.
Well, you know, I have an expression that speaks to some of that, and it's called instincts are the best stinks. And it's just if you're making a choice, if you're trying to, should I go this way? I should go that. I don't know. Well, you know, if it feels right to you, it'll probably feel right to a couple of other people out there too. So give it a go. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think something that I've learned recently, like in the past few months, is that like you are the only you there is. Like I feel like there's this kind of narrative, especially in the entertainment business, of like, oh, I have to be what they want me to be. Like, I have to fit this mold. And I feel like especially young women go through this of like, I have to fit this like mold of what people want me to be. But at the end of the day, you're just bringing yourself to the table. And that's enough, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's all you have to do because people
That's
will
right.
like you for you and they'll
Yeah,
appreciate
and,
that.
and you're not there because you shouldn't be.
Yeah,
You're there because you should be.
exactly.
So yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. So you're
Sounds
yeah,
like
and Lord knows you should be. You could do whatever you want. I
Thank you.
swear. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
You know, at high school, done with high school at 15. I wasn't done. I'm still not done. So,
I think we're all still
so-
learning and growing. So I think we're all still figuring it out.
Oh my gosh.
We can hope that people are learning and growing. It's
Yeah, I'm not sure about
bleak
everybody,
out
but some of us, some of the good guys.
The good ones.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool, though.
You really brought a lot of your personal. What should I don't want to say personal life, but yourself. You brought a lot of yourself to that character. Yeah, I've heard you
you.
speak to that, and that must have been a really fun role to play.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it's
watching
so
it for me, it's
cool.
like you get to literally have such like a huge range of emotionality, and that must have been really cool.
It was so freeing because I'm telling you, every single line or thought or anything the emotion said, literally everything that I have said in my real life. Everything I've
my.
thought, that's a real thought. Like, that I'm not good enough. I can't tell
Yeah.
you how many times I've said that to myself. And it was so interesting because I never realized it until I recorded. And, you know, I started auditioning at 13. So that was, that I started auditioning at like 13 years old, which was, that's crazy. That was like 3 years ago. So
Auditioning for
yeah, for Inside Out
For
too.
Inside Out too?
And I was going through a lot, you know, it was like pandemic times and I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, which was really hard. And it was just a very, very isolating time in my life. And I was like, no one else is feeling this way. Like, I'm crazy. I must be doing something wrong. And then I got the script and I started recording for Inside Out too. And I had this realization for the first time of like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Like, this is normal. This
Yeah.
is part of life. This
Yeah.
isn't just part of growing up. I mean, this is just part of our day-to-day lives that I didn't even know before. And I
Yeah.
think what's so special about this film is that, you know, our filmmakers have like put a face to these complex emotions and like given people of all generations and all walks of life from all over the world a tangible way to express how they're feeling because our feelings are complicated. And I think what's interesting is, you know, none of them are like necessarily good or bad. They're just there to help and protect us. And it's important to remember that.
yeah.
So it just truly was so full circle. And I remember, so I've moved around a lot. I lived in Denver, Philly, New York City,
Wow.
and then LA.
It's kind of cool.
It's,
actually.
oh my gosh, I
But-
love it. I
Yeah.
love the city. I love New York City so much. And so that's really where I grew up. I moved there the week before my 6th birthday. And so I had just moved to New York City. I was not happy at the time. I was like, I don't want to be here. You know, I want to move back home with my friends. And so that was the week that Inside Out
And I love
was
the
released.
fact that you're 6
Yes.
at the time. You go, you know, I don't know.
I don't know about this place.
I don't know. The
This-
traffic, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get a cab. It's like,
Looking back, I'm like, come on. I'm like, but all of, you know, it's so interesting because I was so little, but I really was feeling these things. I was really in my feels. Even at such a young age, I was in my feels. And my mom took me to see Inside Out, the first one on my birthday.
oh gosh.
And so, and you know, Riley moves from Minnesota to San Francisco. Literally, I had just moved to New York City, broke down in the theaters crying. My mom had to escort me out of the theater early because I was like really, really uncontrollably sobbing. But I feel like it was the first time that I realized like how impactful movies can be. And so it's really full circle to see me 10 years later and me sitting here today, you know, it's,
Oh my gosh.
it's very, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And
Sure does.
everyone has a
that's true.
special path that's meant for them, you know, and you just have to follow it.
Wow. That's true. Good for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I'm curious when you're moving all over the place. I moved a lot as a child as well. Moved all over the place, different cities. And do you find it hard to make friends, like especially when you're working? You know,
Yeah.
and like what other 16-year-old is doing that? You know, like, I'm serious. You know, it's like that must be hard to make friends.
It's really hard. I will say, like, you have to try to, like, you have to you have to give yourself the space to just be. I feel like, and for the first 2 years of living in LA, I let myself just live in the space of, I don't want to be here. I don't want to make friends. I want my old friends. And it took about, I moved the mic. It
No,
took
that's
about
actually better.
2 years for me to realize and like find my group of people. And I realized that it's so much better to just have like 1 or 2 close friends than like a million acquaintances.
That's the way I've done it all my life,
I have found the most incredible friends. Like I had my Sweet 16 last August and it was so fun. And I was like, okay. And I don't really like parties. You know, I'm not that kind of person. I'm just like, I like one friend, you know, having a dinner kind of a thing. But I was like, you know what? It's my Sweet 16. Let me do something. And so I was going through the list. I'm like, okay, let me like invite all my friends. And when I sat down at the table, I had like 20 friends. And it was just amazing to see the community that I've built over the years and to see how supportive they are and to see the relationships that have sustained. You know, my best friend, Samantha A. Smith, I'm actually going tomorrow to see her. We're going to prom together because she's in real high school. Great. And I never, you know, got that like opportunity. So I was like, hey, can I go to your prom? She's like, yeah, of course.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, so that's great. Have you picked out your dress?
I have. I have a really fun purple dress. I was going to do a pink dress, but I decided on purple. And she's wearing a black dress. So the contrast will be really cute.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you have to send us a picture.
I will for sure. I'm so excited. But I think it's just like allowing yourself to find the right people and give yourself the space to just be and be like, okay, you know, I'm going to put myself out there. If this isn't the right person, that's okay. Yeah. You know, the right people will come. Then they'll like you for you. And I think that's something that I've realized. But I have my amazing friends, A.G. Arnold and Ashton Arnold, who I'm doing the podcast with. I met them on the set of That Girl Lele, which was one of the Nick shows that I did.
Oh, yes.
And so we've stayed friends throughout the years and we've become really close. And I like their family is like my family. Like, they are truly like family to me, and I love them so dearly.
Oh, that's so nice.
You find the people you click with, and you stick close with them.
Yeah, you know, when I was coming up, I was born in Youngstown, Ohio, very similar to LA. Anyway, and I really bonded with the kids that I did plays with.
I love that
because you know I did a lot of plays, just like you're saying, you know. Of course, with you, it's actual television shows and mine were little,
amazing.
You know, puppet shows. But it's really something. I mean, because it's a bond that's very different. I suspect, you know, I played football and the sports in grade school, not in high school, and certainly not in college. But it's got to be similar to that bond, that teammates
for sure.
You know, you got to feel because you've had both teammates and actor.
Well, because you feel vulnerable with them, right? Yeah. And you bond over that vulnerability. And it's like, it is like a team, you know, like I was in the military too. And it's like the similar thing, like when you struggle with people and like, you know, you're not necessarily, I think in the case of being an actor, it's also such a unique thing, you know, and like you all know that you're blessed, you know, so you're kind of like sharing that. You know, it's like a couple lottery winners, like all bonding together, you know, it's like a very unique thing. So you're going to be immediately, you know, attracted. That's what I think, at least from an outside looking in. I
would say like all my close friends are in the entertainment business in some way or another because they just like, they understand. And I feel like, you know, it's like if I can't respond for a couple weeks, like they get it because I'm, you know, on set or doing something, you know, breaking down a script. Like there's like a sense of, I feel like understanding and understanding the ups and the downs of the business too. It's really hard to navigate. And so to find like close people to like talk about it with, like, hey, you know, I had this really hard audition and I didn't get it and it was really frustrating. And, you know, to see their opinion of like, no, I get it. I've been in that position too. It's like a mutual sense of understanding, you know?
Sure.
But I have a question for you because I'm so curious. I'm like truly such a big fan of you. Like being in the voiceover community for so long in the entertainment industry. Do you have any like advice for me? Just, you know, growing up as a young actor of like just any advice. I'd love to hear it.
Well, let's see. Well, I know one thing. You can take the work seriously, but not yourself.
I love that.
You know.
I love that.
Because people who take themselves really seriously are called, there are words for people like that. And we're not going to say them. Some have several syllables. Some have one. Just need one syllable. And it's so, you know, they're out there, you know. I always say instincts are the best stinks. You know, if it feels good to you, then it should feel good to other people. But definitely don't take it too seriously.
I love that.
And you have to remember that it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game.
Yep.
You really have to have a tough skin. You know, you really, really do. Buddy of mine, Nolan North, great guy. He tells a story about he was just so frustrated, couldn't get a job. Then he got the last one he auditioned for right before he was going to quit, and it put him on the map. So
that's amazing. That's so inspiring to hear.
I mean, yeah.
And being
and Ross had a similar story.
Ross, yeah, from The Walking Dead.
Ross, yeah.
Ross,
Wow.
I can't remember. His
Oh
last name.
gosh, yeah,
Sorry, Ross.
Walking Dead, yeah. Sorry, Ross.
But yeah,
but
you hear
he had the same thing. It was like, never mind. Wait, I got the job. Okay, like I was saying, I'm back. You know,
Yeah.
because it could just go the whole nother way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The most interesting thing I've learned from actually just like talking to people on this podcast is like what a lifelong battle it is as an entertainer.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there's people who, you know, they come on the show and you kind of see like the motivation kind of gone out of them, you know, and they've had like great careers and you kind of hear it in their voice, you know, like you're young and bubbly and you hear excitement and, you know, like ambition in every sentence you say, you know, and you'll hear some people and it's kind of like that, like, wow, I've been doing this for like 35 years and I don't have any of my own characters, you know? And it's like, once again, back to that conversation of like comparison is the thief of joy, you know? It's like, dude,
absolutely.
but people are watching you on this podcast, like wishing they were you know?
That's
and
right.
it's like, you know, I could be like, you know, they don't. Actually, some people have actually come out and said it, you know, like straight up on the podcast. You're like, yeah, my career's over. Like, I've done some cool stuff, but like, I'm not going to be J-Lo, you know?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And it's so, I feel like it's such a humbling, like, and like hard realization, I feel like, to come to, because it's, especially when you've been doing something for so long, like when it comes to a point where it's like, I'm not feeling the joy anymore, then I feel like that's the moment where, you know, you have to step away and have to take a step back. This is like a really weird example, but I grew up playing the violin, actually. When I started when I was 6 years old, and I did it for 3 years, and I was like pretty decent, and I did enjoy it. But it became so like intense for me, and you know, that works for some people, did not work for me, because I really just wanted to do it for fun, and I enjoyed the instrument and I enjoyed playing. But it was like, okay, how many days a week can you practice? You know, how many hours can you practice? How much work can you put in? And it came to a place, you know, at 6 years old where I'm like, I don't think this is fun for me anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And so I stopped. I finished the year out because I am a firm believer, like, you start something, you finish it, and if you don't like it, you know, you never have to do it again, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you were young enough to get a fresh start at the age of 7. I think you're right. Well, my life's over. Of course, I'm only 7. So
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I can
That's
probably
fair.
I can rebound. I know I can do this. Look out, 8. Here I come. You know.
I love it.
That's
But
amazing.
I feel like even like, you know, I've seen like so many people like just finding new sparks of passion like throughout their lives, and I feel like that's so inspiring. Like some of my like family friends, like, you know, they've lost passion in something else, so they've turned to other forms of art. Like one of my mom's best friends is a really amazing artist, and it's just amazing to see her progression and her journey of finding what she truly was meant to do, and like she loves it so much, and it's just so, it's really inspiring to see things like that, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting you say that. It's something she loves to do, because I've always told with my kids, nieces, nephews, or you know, I do a lot of conventions and you do a panel, and they say, well, what about this? What about that? And I think what I did, it worked for me, and I think it would work. It's kind of a universal truth, is you write down 5 at the earliest age or right now. Write down 5 things that you like doing so much that you would do them all day long for free, without not anybody paying you anything, and then do them so well that somebody will pay you.
Oh, I love that.
So You
I
know,
love
and I mean,
that.
that could be anything. That could be, selling hot dogs. Maybe not selling hot dogs, because I did that in the French Quarter for one day. Don't do that. Do something else. Anything else. Everything else.
Everything else.
But whatever it may be, basket weaving. Sure, why not? You know,
That actually
and do it
sounds
so well, and that somebody will pay you, and that's. And I think you've discovered that at a very early age. I really love doing this, and they pay me. Boom.
It's great.
Okay.
It's amazing. I will say, like, literally, I would show up on set for, like every single day for a year, and I would do it for free. Like, I really would, because it just is what I love to do, and that's always what it's been about for me. It's just, it brings me so much joy and fulfillment. But I feel like there are, of course, ups and downs to it, like anything. But it truly does bring me so much joy. And I feel like what's important, too, in the entertainment industry, because it is so up and down, like, you also have to find other things that, like, make you happy as well and make you joyful. So, like, I do aerial silks, which is really fun. Like, I love art.
Oh, you do? Oh my gosh.
With, like, the hoop and, like, the silk and, like, the trapeze. I don't know. I've always I've done that since I've been little, and I don't know. There's something just really, really fun about it. So that's another thing I love to do.
Oh my gosh. How the heck do you even get started? Who invented that one?
I don't know.
It's very graceful sort of a thing. And then you get up there, and how do you get up there?
A lot of upper body strength.
Oh, is that, what's that? Yeah, that's, whew, wow.
I would love it because it's a great, like, for me, it's like a great decompression thing. And, like, I love to work out in whatever way. Like, I try to work out every day, or yoga or something, because it's so good for your mental health. And I find, like, I took a week off from going to the gym and I spiraled. I was like, oh no, like I got to get back into the gym.
Wow.
I got to get back into my routine, because it just makes you feel good, and it puts you in a positive headspace. So that's something that, like, some form of physical activity that is really fun, but also is, like, really good for your mental health too. But it's like your progress is so measurable, is what I love about it. Like, you 1 week, you try to climb and you can't do it. And then the next week, all of a sudden you got your climb and you're all the way up at the top. It's really, really fun.
How cool is that? That's amazing.
So can you do like when they like twirl themselves down and they're like bouncing back and forth? You know what I'm talking about? When it's like all wrapped up in their legs and they're like.
It's so fun. My favorite thing to do is, like, drops. So, like, you'll configure yourself in, like, a way at the top, and then there's, like, a million different drops, and then you just fall. But it's like,
and it like twists you around and stuff,
and
right?
then you like end in, like, a cool position.
Yeah.
So I love, that's, like, my favorite part of it. What I don't like is the poses. That's what hurts the most. It's like holding a specific pose, and I always try to, like, film it. I'm like, wait, let me film this, and then I'm like, oh wait, that hurts. Oh.
Wow. So are they in the Olympics now too?
They are not, but I say I posted a video when our Olympics were. I'm like, okay, guys, 2020, was it 2028? 2020? When is the next Olympics?
In LA, 2028.
2028. 2028 Olympics, we need aerial silks, guys.
Yeah.
Because it's so, you have to have so much, like, upper body strength, core strength. It's impressive.
Yeah, no
Dude,
kidding.
I'm not, like, good at it or at anything. Like, I just do it for fun, but, like, guys, I'm so sorry.
She's getting violent.
I'm so sorry. I really apologize. This poor mic. Poor mic.
I'm sure it's fine.
But yeah, 2028 Olympics. Let's go, guys. I think it's time.
They do vote new sports in every Olympics. I'm not sure if they've done it for this one or not, but they just had, like, skateboarding. They had surfing, golf. They do, like, I think every city does, like, 2 or 3 new ones, like, trials every Olympics now.
I love that.
Yeah. Breakdancing. I'm sure we all saw that one.
That one was
Oh, yeah.
The legendary ray gun. Shout out to ray gun.
Yeah. Well, shout out to horseshoes. I want to do horseshoes because I can actually not bad at horseshoes.
Yeah.
I played in about 10 years, but horseshoes. Just putting it out there. Horseshoes.
I love it.
Okay. Was that subtle enough? I think so. I think we're on the right track. Oh man.
I love that.
Speaking on the right track, what's the do you have anything coming up? Do we have something to brag about usually? or conventions or anything? Have we
Yeah.
touched on everything yet?
Do you do conventions?
I do like a couple
wondering.
here and then. I went to D23 for my first
Yeah.
time. That was
Okay.
so fun.
Yeah.
Good.
I'd never been. I had no idea what to expect, but it was so fun. I didn't go the full 3 days. I only went 2. But they had like a whole inside out like booth thing upstairs that was so cool.
Okay, I'm just going to jump back to you doing a convention because I remember I go to conventions with Jim. We'll do the podcast on the road.
Fun. That's
Some
so
conventions.
cool.
And I remember we were at this one convention, and next to Jim, one of the days was like a I don't know. She was like what 8, 9-year-old girl.
Oh.
And it just struck me as like really weird. I'm like, why are these like grown men coming up to like this 9-year-old girl? Like, I need your autograph. You know, maybe if it's like your peers, but it's just like I had never thought about it in that context before. And when I saw it, you know, she didn't have like a big line of people. It was like, you know, it's like she played like I don't know, maybe one of the little girls in Stranger Things or something, but not like the main. You know, I don't know. I don't know who she was. But it was just like, you know, you see like this like 45-year-old man coming up like, oh, you know, hopefully it's for his like niece or daughter or something. But I don't know. It just struck me as like awkward. I was like, I'm wondering how it feels for you to like sit there and like if you've ever had an experience where it's like, oh, hi.
I will say I've never had an experience like that. I will say like most of the people who come up for like conventions or I did like 1 or 2 autograph signings and it was so fun because there were so many kids there or like parents and they're like, oh my goodness, my niece loves this movie or like my daughter loves this movie, my son loves this, can we do a video? Can you sign an autograph and can I take it home from them? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. So it was actually really great to see like the amount of young people and like little kids who were, I think it's really cool. I feel like, and I'm sure you've experienced this so much is, you know, when they hear the voice. They recognize the voice. They're like, whoa, because they don't recognize your face, of course, because it's a cartoon. And then they hear your voice. They're like, oh. And the girl, I got to meet the girl who plays Minnie Mouse. She's amazing, so talented.
Sure.
And
Caitlin.
I flipped out. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Minnie Mouse sitting right next to me. And it's like, it's so sweet to see their reaction. And it's been great. I've been able to connect with a lot of teens too, which I feel like is really important and to empower other young teens and be like, hey, like you can do this too. You know, like I'm figuring this out. We're all figuring this out together. And it's been great. I've been able to stay and connect with them, which has been awesome.
That's so nice of you. You've inspired. There's no question that you've inspired a lot of young girls, and boys for that matter.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like mental health is so important. I actually work with an amazing nonprofit. So I'm their brand ambassador. It's called Girl Well, and we serve under-sheltered teenage girls, and we provide them with self-care kits that promote mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And my friend is the founder and CEO, and she founded it at 16 years old.
Wow.
And she's 20 now, which is so cool. She's amazing. She's
20-year-old veteran.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's
That's great.
killing it. She's doing just like a whirlwind of incredible things, but this is one of the amazing things that she does. And I just feel really grateful to be a part of that because we basically, the whole idea is that, you know, self-care is so important for your mental health, but a lot of the times it's really inaccessible and like inequitable. And it's like, oh, you know, you have to have like super expensive skincare routine. It's like, no, you don't. And we're breaking that stigma of like, you know, here we want everyone to be able to practice self-care. It shouldn't be limited. You know, everyone deserves that right, you know, to practice that. So we give them 3 months of free teletherapy through BetterHelp.
Wow.
We give them hotline cards. We give them, you know, skincare, makeup, hygiene products. But I think my favorite part is like our letters of affirmation that we write. So we write handwritten like affirmations of like, you know, you're loved or you're beautiful. And, you know, often the young girls that receive this are very much overlooked. And they don't get that affirmation that they deserve. And so this is just like a little reminder to them of, hey, you're enough. We love you. You know, you're loved.
Oh, you're amazing.
Oh.
That's wonderful.
It's been
So
really
commendable.
Oh, thanks. It's been, I love doing it because it's helped me so much realize like, wow, the words we speak to ourselves are so important, you know? And so I've started putting up affirmations on my mirror. And this is something that, you know, we touch on an inside out too of the belief system of what you say in your mind impacts your everyday life. And it could be complete lies, you know, like Riley goes, I'm not good enough. That's not true. But when we start to believe it, we ruminate on those thoughts and we spiral. And so I think it's just been such an important realization for me, and I think for a lot of my friends as well.
You know, you just reminded me something I used to do religiously, and I haven't done it in a few years now. Is make a what would they be called? A dream
Vision board.
vision board? Yeah,
Oh,
a vision board.
yes, I love vision boards. I make one every year.
Yeah, I have to make a new one.
Yes, they're
I
the
have to
best.
go out, and I think they're really great.
They're so fun.
You know, and you know, I remember I would get for peace or something. I would get a rose garden or something
love
symbolic
that.
of something like that,
Love
and then
that.
the sunsets and the you know an old 1957 ship. No, just kidding. But
Hey, we can put that on there too.
yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can.
And yeah, and that's a beautiful thing to do. So take note, folks. Do that.
Vision boards.
What she said.
I love vision boards. Me and my friend AG, we make them. It's become like a little tradition. So we make them every New Year's together. And it's really cool to see like the vision board from 2024 and now my 2025 vision board.
I was
and
wondering.
how it's changed and what kind of like came true. And it's interesting because all of the things on there did, but in a way that I never would have expected. You know, I put something on there, you know, that I thought was going to represent something, but it represented something completely different and it manifested its way into something completely different. And it's been really cool. And even some of the things on my vision board this year, they're slowly like popping up. I'm like, wait, I put that on my vision board and it's here.
That's
so
great.
cool. But I think it's just, you know, like when you see that every day, you know, you believe it. And if you believe it, you can do it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I used to have a thing that I, and I accidentally touched on this. I think I must have been like 10 or 12. What if I acted like I already did that?
Ooh, yeah.
What if I acted like I
Love
already did that? I remember, I haven't thought of that in 100 years.
That's so important.
But yeah, and it could be just something like, I mean, back then it was something pretty mundane, I'm sure, you know, like had that last piece of pumpkin pie, you know. But yeah, we can kind of pull tricks on ourselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I think it's like, even for like auditions, like it's important to walk into the room with the mindset of like, yeah, I got this. Like this is who I am. Like, you know, my coaches always tell me like book the room, don't book the job. So it's like I'm coming in here not to book the job, but I've already booked this room. I've already booked this. This has already been great, you know. And I think each like audition is a learning experience. You know, I've had lots of bad auditions. I have so many stories, but each audition is a learning experience and is a stepping stone, and you grow. And you know, even if one audition one day went better than the next, you know, it's still a stepping stone to where you're meant to be. You know. Yeah.
Right. Well, as long as you can learn a little something.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Edison didn't need to go through 200 things before he got the light bulb. He goes, and that's a lot of failure. And he goes, no, I successfully found the 199 things that didn't work.
I love that.
You only need the one.
And also, like, he wouldn't have gotten to that one thing if he didn't test and fail and test and fail.
I mean, that's it. That's how success is made.
Absolutely.
In the world. I mean, that's amazing.
I love
that.
And
you've learned that certainly very early. Look at that. That's amazing.
Thank you. I feel like it's hard to grasp, especially in today's world of like comparison of like, you know, okay, well, this person's done this and they're younger than me or they're older than me and they have this all figured out.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone has a special path, and it's like you build every single day, you know, you do little small baby steps to reach your goal, not someone else's goal, your goal. And I think that's been something I've been really, really trying to work on this year, because it's hard to like, you know, it's like the swimmer thing, you know, you have to focus on your lane, you know, you swim in your own lane, you don't look at anybody else. That's how you reach the finish point and the end point. That's how you reach your goal. You just look forward. So I think that's something that I've been trying to work on this year specifically.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream role or a character that you'd want to play?
Oh, I will say, I mean, like I grew up watching Pixar movies, and so this has
my mind is reeling. I'm trying to think, what would it be?
Truly being able to be in a Pixar movie was such a big dream come true. I would say I'd really love to do like Some sort of like action-packed, live
You like
action.
superheroes?
Yeah, so like a Marvel
If you
movie.
could be any superhero, who
any
would be?
superhero. Oh, I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I love Gamora. I think I love her. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
so well done. But to do a movie like that, I think would be really fun, and like being able to train, and like I love stunts, and I love I do aerial, so like I love that kind of like that thrill in a way. So-
Ariel? Oh no, different Ariel. Sorry.
I
sorry.
also love that
I
area.
mean, yeah, okay. Just checking. Okay.
But yeah, I think that'd be like an absolute dream come true. And I think like working like a movie like Avatar, working with so much green screen and, motion capture using your imagination like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, to
You like
me,
that?
I love that.
Interesting.
To me, that is the true test
That's
of an
really
actor.
interesting because a lot of actors feel the complete opposite. Like
Really?
they hate acting on that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's
We've
so
had
cool.
people like really upset on this podcast about like having
Yeah.
to do green
That's
screen.
my dream.
Yeah.
Is because I feel like it trains you, so that like when you show up on set and you
Yeah.
have like a really nice, pretty
Yeah.
set, you have a realization of it.
Wait, I'm interested. So most of your
Interesting.
auditions, like since you've been a teenager, have they been in a room with people or has it been like Zoom?
When I started acting, I did like some
Self
commercials.
tapes? Do you do a lot of self tapes?
I do a ton of self tapes. Recently, like before pandemic, because I was acting before pandemic, I did a lot of in persons, like all of
Everybody
them.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
it was
yeah.
all in person.
Yeah,
And then pandemic.
I would prefer that. Yeah.
I love in person, I will say, because you get to connect and you can take feedback.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
It's like when you do a self tape, you're like, well, I don't really know what they're looking
You're flying
for.
blind.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I don't know, but I'm gonna give it my best, and
Yeah.
they may go, oh, that's not the right thing.
I
Moving
can't
on.
stand self tapes. I can't stand them.
Yeah.
I love them and I hate them. I love them because you can explore different things, which I really
But then
like.
don't you feel like sometimes you explore too much?
Yes,
It's like
yes.
you could spend like 3 hours
Yes.
on an audition when it's like,
been
okay, if
there.
I was in person, I have like
one take.
10 minutes
Right.
max,
Yeah.
Like I have
Exactly.
to have it. I don't know. I'm like, I come from theater, so like I
I love
like
theater.
that live performance,
I feel that. I feel like, right now it's a lot of self tapes, but a few like in person things here and there, which
Yeah.
I actually think is really nice. Or like I actually like over Zoom, like live Zoom auditions, which I think is nice because you're still in the comfort of your own home and like you don't have to go or leave anywhere, but you're getting that face to face interaction. So I think that was one good thing that kind of came out of the pandemic. It's like, hey, there's other forms of like in person live auditions. We don't do them over Zoom,
Yeah.
which I like.
So if you had your druthers, if you had to choose between Broadway, theater, and Hollywood cameras, what do you think?
I would say I don't think I could pick one.
Yeah.
I love it all.
I knew you were going to say that.
I really so I have actually never done theater. I mean, I did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when I was 6. And I
and
had
who
no
were you?
lines. No, I was the person in the background holding the lollipop. That was my part.
Oh, I loved her.
Yeah, it wasn't she
She
great?
was awesome.
Yeah,
that was you. You did that.
yes. Oh,
Oh my
I killed it.
gosh.
Every 5 seconds of my part. That was the only musical theater experience that I had in New York City, like with like our community
Oh.
program. And I really, really want to get into theater and Broadway, and I love to sing, and I think
Oh,
there's
yeah.
something really unique about it because you're going throughout the story, right? Like you go from beginning, middle, end. Whereas on set, you're jumping all over the place, and it's really hard to keep your place sometimes, and it's hard to remember, okay, where's my character at in their arc? But theater, you get to explore that, and what I love about it is you do it every night, and so you get to explore something each and every night, and you get to find different quirks. So by the time that you have your last show, it's the most beautiful performance because it's incorporating. Sorry, Mike. It's incorporating every little bit and piece that you found throughout the process. So I'd love to do theater and Broadway one day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Boy, me too.
It seems like so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
because do you feel like it really like was a good training experience? Because that's what I've heard from a lot of people. Like it trains you so well.
I think actors who come from theater are just better actors.
Yeah.
Like I think you can
me too.
literally watch, you can tell which celebrities even
Yeah.
were theatrically trained. Like the
Absolutely.
only one I can really think of who's like a phenomenal actor with no theater training is like Brad Pitt. Like,
Yeah.
I really can't think.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, as an actor, it's like day and night. And, you know, and I don't think a lot of the general public even really realizes, you know, there's so much stuff that's just like, we were talking the other day, you know, Netflix, I'm sorry, I'm jumping because
No, I love this.
This really frustrates me. But did you know that Netflix is now making what they call second screen content? Because they call it second screen content because they want something where you can be scrolling on social media and they're saying that the audience is so addicted to their phones that they're dumbing down the plots and they're simplifying everything so that you can just tune in every now and then while you're scrolling.
That's terrible.
And so they're intentionally making worse shit, excuse my language,
to
freaking appease the addiction that that they perceive people have when consuming media.
I don't like that.
I know. It's
That's
icky.
painful.
It's icky.
Oh, that's really disappointing, actually, because the whole purpose of film is you engage an audience and you take them out of their world and you put them in this world. But that's really hard because you're living in both worlds. But the whole point of film and seeing a movie in the theaters is seeing the art that was created and appreciating every little aspect and immersing yourself in it and feeling like you're living with those characters. So that actually is really sad to me.
It is sad.
Disappointing.
But yeah, I think live theater is like, at least when I did, you know, performed in plays and stuff, we were actually talking on the drive here about we were listening to you say something about, you were talking about anxiety or feeling anxious or something like that. And the thought that popped into my head was, you know, there's like good forms of anxiety.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Like when I go on stage, like there is an anxiety. It's anxious, but it's like anxious excitement. And like
butterflies.
Jim gave the example of like, you know, winning like an Academy Award, which we saw you at the Oscars, which is crazy.
I still can't believe that happened. That was wild.
Nothing wrong with that.
So much fun. Oh,
yeah.
It felt like I was living in
there must have been a little anxiety in there with that. That's
huge. Absolutely.
Did you do the glam cam?
I did.
Nice.
Now, I did not post it because I was afraid to post it, but I did do it. I don't know. I'd never done one before, so I was like, I don't know if this is any good, but I did do one because I was really excited.
Yeah, you got to do that.
I should post it. I should post it.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
Yeah, you
I
should.
do it.
You should. Go ahead.
I should release it.
Yeah,
You only regret the things you don't do.
That's true. I love that. I love that. Yeah. But yeah, I think there are really, really good forms of anxiety. And I think that's something that the film explores, you know, of like, okay, anxiety is just really trying to help. And like, you need a little bit of anxiety.
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. Because if you weren't anxious, you know, you'd go into a test and be like,
you'd be one of those people base jumping from a crane.
Right.
Like those people don't have anxiety.
Yeah.
The free climbing Yosemite, you know, like those people don't have anxiety.
No,
they're like looking as hard as they can to find anxiety.
They're really trying. They're searching for it. But I feel like especially as like a performer, like when I do have a little bit of anxiety, I think it's really good for me because it pushes me to be my best. And
Makes
me,
I love it.
It makes me excited too. It's like those butterflies. But like something that I've been really working on the past couple years, you know, in the business is like channeling where the part of the anxiety does start to spin, channeling that, not the bad part, but the spinning part into excitement, into that butterfly feeling. Because that's what drives you, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It keeps you on your toes, like I say. Yeah, so true. So true. And that little extra, I think it's like putting a little extra gas in the tank.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Because if you didn't have that, then you just sit at home and like you wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
you wouldn't really. Yeah.
I've often noticed about myself over the years whenever we would do a read through, and they would say, well, you don't have to do full performance. You don't have to do full. I can't not.
I'm the same way. Oh my gosh. No, I'm doing it. I can't because it feels weird.
Yeah, I can't go, okay, well, hey, you guys can't be in here. We have to run. What do we have to do? We have to run now. And then they run out of the room. So, you know, and you end up giving this half terrible, you know, thing.
I'm in full agreement.
Well, you guys can't be in here. You have... Wait a minute, you have, that's stage direction. Anyway, you know, and all that stuff. But yeah, you gotta, it just comes out. You don't.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's not just me, huh?
No, I feel the same way. Like, even if people are like, no, like, just don't do it. I'm like, I can't help myself. I'm too excited. Like, and it just, I feel like it prepares you better, you know, for
I'm gonna
like.
knock this thing down.
No, it's okay. I'm so clumsy. I've already knocked the mic so many. I love this though. This is so cool. I love it.
He's a little scary. But, yeah.
I think he's cute. I love it.
Well, that's what I meant to say. Thank you. But yeah, it's daunting.
Absolutely. Okay, I have a question for you. Sorry, I'm jumping
Here we
all
go.
over the
Please,
place.
please jump away.
I have a question for you because obviously you've played like iconic characters. So like when you're getting these parts, like how do you find the voice and like do you workshop multiple voices for a character and you're like what sticks, or is it the first instinct that's like you read the character, you just exude what's natural to you? Like how does that work?
Well, I have a couple that were there, like Pooh and Tigger. They came out when I was 5, so that wasn't me.
I love that.
But then on that case, then what you're doing is you want to not just a voice match, but it's a character match. Like people say, oh, you're a voice actor. My friend Jess says small V but a capital A, because. If you're just doing, like, there's a guy out there who does impressions, and impressionists are great, but they're not actors. All they have to do is sound like a character, a famous person for a sentence or two, and their job's done. Whereas, they're not, you can sound just like Jack Nicholson, but they couldn't act like Jack if you paid them. So it's a different discipline. If you're doing an established character, first you have to sound like them, then you have to act like them, and then with the characters that I came up with, the voices for, Darkwing Duck, Bonkers would be one, Hondo, Onaka, Star Wars.
Oh my gosh,
they're all I have incorporated different characters from my past, like Lieutenant Spinelli on Chippendale Rescue Rangers is my Aunt Grace, God bless her, and
so sweet.
Leatherhead on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the first tugboat captain that I ever. I used to be a deckhand on the riverboats out of New Orleans.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought so too because I wasn't from there. They go, well, this is terrible. This is as bad as the steel mill, So I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I do other things now. But I you incorporate those.
It's really cool.
And I'll bore you with one more thing. One of my favorite guys is Hondo Onaka. He is from Star Wars. Hondo, it is funny because when I see you today, I see an opportunity for profit.
Oh my gosh.
And I can guarantee you that I am here to accept all of the money you wish to donate to this particular cause. Don't worry about it. I'll leave the details to me. I will take. Well,
This is so cool. This is so surreal. I love this.
That's funny. You're so sweet. Well, he is Charles Bronson and Yul Brynner
I love that.
put together. Now, Charles Bronson was a character actor, a super tough guy, and he sort of sounded like this. And Yul Brynner was from the biggest movie you'd ever know, old classic movie. I think I was 5 when this came out too, The King and I.
Oh yeah.
And he was the bald guy who was very regal and very, Moses, and he was in the Bible. He was that guy. Who did he play? Herod, or no, Pharaoh. He played the Pharaoh.
Beats me.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's like a trick of mine that I put people together. And if you do a bad impression, I can tell you this: if you do a terrible impression of a famous person, nobody knows who it is. It's a new character.
I
you get
love
a
that.
free character.
Oh, I love that.
From your bad impression work. So
That's so cool.
But don't tell anybody this. These are secrets.
Well, since we're doing voices, should we do a little voice swap?
Oh, but yes.
Oh, how does this
we've come
work?
to that part of our program. Yes, we're winding down and time to have fun.
All right.
All this seriousness has to stop.
So Jim will do a line of one of his characters, like a Winnie the Pooh, a Tigger.
Oh my gosh.
He'll say a line, and then you'll repeat the line, but in one of your character voices. So like as
cool.
Riley or as another voice that you've done.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yay.
Okay.
This is so cool.
So,
And then we'll do
see.
vice versa.
Okay. How about Bonkers? Bonkers D. Bobcat. The first Toon'd detective. ever in the world.
But gee, Lucky, I don't know. I just can't do it. Can you help me? Just kidding. Pull my finger.
That was so good. Okay.
His partner's name is Lucky, and he's trying to con him into doing something. He goes, "Oh, I'm just kidding. Pull my finger."
But gee, Lucky, okay.
Okay.
But gee, Lucky, please, I really need help. Just kidding. Pull my finger. That was not as good as I
cute.
apologize. I butchered that.
God, you're way too adorable.
No, I butchered that. But you're so good. Oh my gosh.
No. Okay, so now you have to.
Wait, I want to. Can I throw a suggestion?
Yes.
I just want to hear Riley and Pooh.
Ooh, yes.
So you give a line as Riley.
Okay. Yep, that's me, Riley from good old Michigan.
Yep, that's me. Good old Riley from good old Michigan. It's part of the 100-acre wood.
Oh my gosh. That is so cool.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, you have to just give her a couple voices with these reactions. It's too good.
Wait a minute. Hold on there. I don't think you understand. The wonderful thing about tigers is tigers are wonderful things.
Oh my gosh, this is like my childhood right here.
Oh, well, good.
This is so cool.
Well, I hope it's as sweet as honey for you, too.
Oh my god.
And what was the Curious George? Curious George.
Oh, yes. Don't forget the Giorgio. That is a monkey. This is my favorite monkey in all of the world. And what's that? Jumpy the squirrel. He's not here. Jumpy. I was Jumpy the squirrel.
Oh my gosh, yes! I remember Jumpy the squirrel. Oh my gosh. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is
I discovered that when I was like 4 or 5 years old, this thing. You can, I'm talking about Shaft. Anyway, yeah.
You're so brilliant.
My left cheek doesn't work that well anymore. I don't know why. It's a phrase you don't hear very often. Oh.
That's so cool.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You're so cool.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you.
That is fantastic. Is there anything we should be bragging about?
Social media appearances, anything like that.
Social media. Where do people look you up?
I'm on social at Hey Kensington on all the platforms, but mainly Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
HEYKENSINGTON.
Okay. All right. Got that?
Be sure to follow.
Yes.
There'll be a quiz tomorrow.
I have such a long name that I was like, okay, Kensington Tallman, it's too long. So I was like, okay, Hey Kensington is easier. I can do that.
Hey, you guys. And it's got some of that in there, too.
Yes.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was
Kensington
so fun.
Tallman, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
This was so cool. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy we got to do this.
Me too.
This was so
Same
fun.
here.
And hearing all your voices too, truly, it's like, it just reminds me of all like my childhood. It's so cool. It's really cool that you get to inspire people and like, get to play these special cartoons. It's really fun.
Yeah. Thanks. It's all the stuff you used to get me kicked out of class.
Well, hey, look where you are now. You can
Jokes
say
on Sister Mary Agnes. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you for having me.
Should we take us home, Chris?
Sure. All right. Thank you for
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings. I'm producer Chris, joined as always by the legend Jim Cummings. And today we had a very special guest, Kensington Tallman. That's a tongue twister. Say that 10 times fast. I dare you. If you guys like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you like it. It'll show you more of this. And if you really, really like this content, we have even more bonus stuff on Patreon. That's right. Unaired episodes, giveaways, signed signatures, giveaways. I can't talk right now.
A lot of stuff.
What's going on?
Stuff and more. That's right.
But yeah, be sure to check us out over there. If you want some merchandise, Jim Cummings Closet on Shopify has a whole bunch of good stuff over there. Check it out. And as always, we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Yay! You were so sweet, both of you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
This
That was
was
a lot
so
of fun.
fun.